Welcome back into Cougar Nation. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte with you. Live on this President's Day. Should be getting Dallin Hall here on soon. Just got informed by BYU. So we should be getting that phone call from BYU's point guard here any moment now. And we'll be taking your phone calls too, 801-575-8255. The question of the day is Kansas the biggest brand BYU has ever hosted inside the Marriott Center? Curious, Matt, your thoughts. Is Kansas the biggest brand, you think?
I think so. And quite honestly, who's the runner-up? Maybe Gonzaga? Because
UCLA back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'd probably say it's got to probably be the Jayhawks because you'd say then it becomes Duke, programs like that, Kentucky. BYU's got a brand too. And a guy that helped lift BYU's brand last year to those basketball crazed fans out in Kansas is Dallin Hall, who had that big game winner a season ago over Kansas and also had a season-high points total against Kansas State in the win over the weekend, 16 points. Dallin Hall joins us live here with Mitch Harper and Matt Baiamonte on Cougar Nation. Dallin, thanks for joining us. How excited and how good are the vibes right now for this BYU team after a pair of big wins last week?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. We're excited. Less about the result and more about our process. We're just playing great brand of basketball right now, and we're playing for each other, and you see it in the box score, like everyone's contributing. So we feel like we're really trending in the right direction, and, wins or losses, we try and stay pretty even keeled regardless, and so we're just excited with the process we're in, taking part in right now.
Dallin, you've won 6 of the last 8 games you guys have played. Has there been a moment in conference play where you felt like things were starting to fall into place and click to allow you guys to go on this kind of run?
I think that road win at UCF was a big one for us, just to get out there on the road and to get a big win. And it's hard to think about a specific point, but that's kind of something that jumps out to me, where we proved we can go out on the road and win big games. And ever since then, we've had a few losses here and there, but just our confidence and the swagger we've played with has been a lot higher, I'd say.
Dallin Hall is our guest, BYU basketball guards. The Cougs get ready to take on Kansas tomorrow night. You mentioned the confidence and that swagger boost. How big of a confidence boost was it just for you, Dallin, to have a game like you did on Saturday where, as Coach Young noted, you put the team on your shoulders and had a game high or season high 16 points and took care of the basketball as well. How big of a boost was that for you going forward down this home stretch?
That was really exciting for me. This year has been up and down and maybe not necessarily the way I envisioned it going, but, I've just really tried to focus in on the process of getting better every single day, trusting that results will come. And it was cool to see it pay off. The result, the points is awesome, but I'm just really proud of the mindset I went out there and played with. My teammates and my coaches have been, challenging me every week to be more assertive while I'm out there playing and put more pressure on defenses. And so that's the biggest thing I'm excited about, and I think it's great because I can carry that forward with me. But just really grateful for the team believing in me, put me in those situations to be successful, and the staff helping me get better every day.
Big 12 is a hard league, and there's a lot of great opponents that you guys have played these last 2 years, but Kansas is just a little bit different talent. You got a taste of that last year in Lawrence, and this year you have them in the Marriott Center. How exciting is it to play a brand like Kansas at home in front of Cougar Nation?
Yeah, obviously they're a very renowned basketball program. Coach Self has obviously had a great run there, and it's really fun to have the opportunity to play these teams that you hear about as little kids, in the biggest stage. And obviously, it's awesome to have them at our place. Last year we got to go to their arena, and it's a special place. But now we got the Rock behind us. We got all Cougar Nation coming out. And so I think they're in for a little treat, a shocker, because playing at the Marriott is one of the hardest places to play in college basketball.
You shocked Kansas last year with that big shot late in the game to kind of ice it over Hunter Dickinson. How often do people bring up that shot when they see you over the last 12 months since that game happened? Do you get that brought up often?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a moment a lot of people talk to me about and ask me about, and something I'll always treasure in that arena, just being in the flow state, being completely in the moment and living with the shot, make or miss. That's something you can only dream about as a competitor and as an athlete.
How does this year's Kansas team compare to last year's team? Obviously, Hunter Dickinson's still there, but there's some new faces. What do you make of this Kansas team?
Yeah, I think they're a little more well-rounded this year. They brought in some transfers who have had a lot of success in their previous places, and so they got a lot more shooting, and they've got their veterans as well. And so I think that it's going to be a super fun matchup, and we've been breaking down the scout, and we feel confident in our game plan. We're excited to get out there on the floor.
Last thing for you, Dallin. Again, BYU guard Dallin Hall is our guest here on Cougar Nation on KSL News Radio. Is this BYU team and you individually, Dallin, are you guys anywhere close to hitting your peak? And I bring that up because we're starting to get closer to those bracket seasons. Do you guys feel like you're getting closer to playing your best version of basketball, or is that still to be had going forward down the stretch run?
Yeah, I'd say we're trending in the right direction. I think we're close. I think we still have more to give. You're seeing it with a lot of us guys who are finding our rhythm here later towards the season. And so I'm excited to see what we're able to do. But ultimately, the mantra of the team is, it's nearly March. You got to take it one game at a time, be in the moment, and it's all about winning. So whatever it takes from whoever it takes, and that's our mindset to go out there and just find a way to win.
He's BYU guard Dallin Hall, kind enough to spend some time with us. Less than about 24 hours until tip tomorrow night, BYU in Kansas. We'll look forward to seeing you in action tomorrow. Dallin, best of luck, and I know Cougar Nation will be pulling for you.
Hey, appreciate you. And shout out Cougar Nation, man. Let's bring it tomorrow.
That's Dallin Hall here on Cougar Nation, here on KSL News Radio. BYU and Kansas tipping off at 7 p.m., pregame at 6. Great stuff from Dallin Hall, and he's going to be a big piece for BYU to take down the Jayhawks tomorrow night, Matt.
He's playing great basketball right now, and that is a welcome sign for this BYU team because Dallin Hall is a dang good basketball player. He was an honorable mention all-conference last year for no reason, and this is the Big 12. To even be mentioned amongst some of the best players in the conference speaks volumes to your ability, the work that he's put in. And look, it's been a challenging year because the Yegor dynamic, that's taken time to figure out. But I thought we saw a great glimpse against Kansas State of what that 1-2 punch can be at the point guard. Whether it's Yegor scoring or Dallin scoring, I thought that was their best game in terms of both of them doing their thing together. And if they can capture that night in and night out, both Dallin and Yegor, watch out because this team they've got the talent, man. This BYU team is one of the most talented teams that's ever stepped foot on the floor. Injuries, I think, slowed down some of the chemistry. And then, of course, you got a new staff, a new coach. It's going to take time, but wow, is it really coming together at just the perfect moment.
And I think what gets me excited about BYU down the stretch run compared to most BYU teams is just I still feel like they've got their best ahead. And you heard it from Dallin there. They've talked about how, getting closer to March, it's almost here. And I love that aspect where BYU is still kind of flying under the radar, Matt. And I always love BYU teams that fly under the radar. Last year, we forget that, that was at one point the number one team in the net. BYU was the talk of college basketball in stretches. They lived in the top 25. Not this year. They've been kind of out of sight, out of mind, and they've got a chance, particularly this week, to really make some statements and make it clear that this team is trending in the right direction. They might be a difficult out because you're right. This team's got tons of talent. They're more talented than last year, I think, from top to bottom. You've seen that already, and Saturday was a case of that. It's just now stacking up those days, as Kevin Young talks about, and they got some opportunities to stack up some big ones this week. And it starts tomorrow with Kansas. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. tip, 6 o'clock pregame here on KSL. We'll break down the matchup a little bit more on the other side. It's Cougar Nation, sponsored by Central Bank, serving Utah County for over 133 years with trusted service, modern technology, and personalized care. Cougar Nation here on KSL News Radio.